Yeah, it was one of those games where, offensively, we didn't do much. We struck out, I think, 8 times. We struck them out like 15 times, but we got behind a couple of times and it cost us with, a 2-0 home run dead center and then 3-1 home run off the middle of the scoreboard to one of their best hitters. We could kind of feel it coming. When Toll got behind him there in the top of the ninth, we were in trouble. Like I said, one of their top hitters. We were trying to keep the game at 2 runs, and next thing you know, we're down 4 or 5. But we just didn't do much. We didn't have to field a lot of balls tonight because we struck them out 15 times. But just give credit to to Missouri State's pitching staff. They did a really good job against us.
Dave, you did get the winning run up in the ninth, which, considering what you'd done the first day, seemed kind of remarkable. Just what do you think? What'd you think in the ninth? Did you guys obviously had a shot at it?
Well, I mean, they made a couple of mistakes and threw the ball around a little bit, but we kept fighting, trying to put the barrel on the ball, make them field it. We like you said, we did get the tie and win and run to the plate or whatever there, and just needed a big hit to tie it up, and hit the ball right at the shortstop. It's one, needed a little bit of a break there. Just needed to find a hole.
What did you see from your offense those first 8 innings where you couldn't score, but I guess the Leach home run?
I saw us chasing balls out of the strike zone, and a couple of times we were heading the count, maybe 3-1, and we chased, or we got ourselves out a little bit. I guess whatever he was throwing, it looked better than it was. Like I said, give credit to Lang there. He did a good job, but I didn't see a lot of balls hit well.
What do you think Lang did that made him effective?
He's trying to throw in a cutter and change up, and then he tried to sneak the fastball by us a little bit, but he spotted it up pretty good. I don't know. I think he just moved it in and out. He didn't throw the ball in the middle of the plate much at all.
I guess you guys have won 18 straight midweek games. I just know because it's in the notes, but does it feel kind of weird because you guys have won a lot of these midweek games by big scores? Tight one last week, but it's first midweek loss since OU last year.
Well, I mean, losing never feels good, so I wouldn't say it feels weird. I mean, we play a lot of games. Missouri State, they just played better than us tonight, in my opinion.
You did get to use Ramage and Familia and a couple of guys you've had warming over the weekend. What did you think of their outings today?
Thought they were pretty good. I thought Cole, the first inning, he threw really well, and second inning, walked a hitter, I think. But I just feel like that he had good stuff. Vermillion actually threw some good breaking pitches. Couldn't finish a couple of hitters off, but velocity was good. A couple of pitches were really close that he didn't get, and but I like the way that both of those guys threw the ball. I thought Morris threw the ball decent as well. Tress threw the ball pretty good. McIntyre threw it well too, except he walked a couple of people, and that's what he got behind in the count after he had walked the hitter. I don't know, a couple batters before, and gave up a 2-run homer. Other than that, he had a pretty good outing.
I think it's like 13 2/3 or 13 1/3 scoreless innings now for Morris in his last 6 appearances. What do you think about how he's done in that stretch?
Well, he's throwing strikes. He's not. It's not like he's striking a lot of guys out. He's making them swing the bat, and he's had just like tonight. I mean, he got behind a couple of times and he fought back and ended up getting outs. And then I don't know. Just he's been consistent. We're just trying to continue to get him a little bit of work here and there, but still have him. Tonight we wanted to get him a little work, but have him available for the weekend. And he got his work in and didn't throw too many pitches. But it was I thought he had a pretty good outing through like 35 pitches, I think.
What was the message to the team after a game like this? And then also, how do you expect them to bounce back with a big series this weekend?
Well, you never know how you're going to play. You're coming off one emotional weekend, you're going into another big series. It's the last week of regular class. Just told them, what I saw, and just that we gotta learn from this one and move on.
I guess
said-
Auburn, and I think we're supposed to ask you about Auburn, right? Because you guys are leaving. Auburn, I think it's Auburn, LSU, and maybe A&M are all 2 games. They're all 12-9, so I guess 2 games behind you all. Pretty tight race, kind of. What do you think about the West right now?
Yeah, I think it's really even. I think a lot of the teams are very talented, and especially on the weekends, they've got, teams that's, I think that are very experienced. I think it'll probably go down to the last weekend, probably the last game.
And then Auburn they beat Tennessee, which is not been easy to do this year. They played them pretty tough. What's your take on Auburn?
Very offensive, really can hit. Added a couple of guys and into that lineup that was good last year, and I think have got a switch hitter and a left-handed hitter, but the rest of them are right-handed, but they can really hit, and they've been playing good. They're hard to beat. They're not scared. They're not intimidated. Like I said, they got older kids, and they it's going to be tough down there.
You said the other day, I think it was yesterday, that a team like Missouri State has 3 hours drive down here, focus on beating you guys. They're having a okay year, but obviously not the kind of year that they'd like to have. And I'm sure this was a really sweet win for them to beat you guys. What do you think of the way they played? And did they strike as a pretty hungry team?
I thought they played good. I mean, where they beat us at the plate. Offensively, they beat us. I guess you could say they outpitched us too. I mean, obviously you can't use everybody you have, but because you got to save them for the weekend. But their first couple of guys, gave them an opportunity to get the lead. I just, I mean, every time we play them, it's the same. It's usually a pretty good ball game. I don't know. I don't really want to comment on their team. I don't really know what to say to that.
Looking back to last year, it seemed like they were one of the more unlucky teams in the league last year, lost a lot of close games. Their series with Arkansas was really tight. And just this year, are you surprised to see them have the year they are? Or, were you kind of expecting them to have a little bit of a bounce back year? Or what are your thoughts on them from afar?
Well, I don't really know what they did last year. I mean, I couldn't tell you. I just focused on this year. So as far as a bounce back, I thought they had a pretty good team last year. When we played them, it was a great series, and it was tight. It could have gone either way, like a lot of the series. So there's really not much separation between one team and the other in our league. It doesn't surprise me a bit that they're having a really good year, because they have a lot of experienced players.
It's not a huge sample size on the road, but you guys have played a lot better at home. And kind of, is there going to be any, message to the team about needing to get a big road series win like this weekend?
I don't really talk about, this being bigger than that. I don't feel like that I need to put that on them. They know that every game is big from here on in, especially where we sit. So, I don't feel like I have to give these guys any speeches. I think they get it. We've done pretty well here the last 4 or 5 years, and have been in the race down the stretch. I think about, 18, we had to fight to win the West, 19 the same way. And then, even last year, we were winning a lot, but there were some teams that were right there with us until the very end. So it's nothing new. So it's not like I really have to tell them how to think. They know what we're in for. They know that we're going to get everybody's best shot, and teams are trying to catch us, and it's their home series. So, they don't play tonight. They don't play tomorrow. They may be taking finals, and, they'll be ready for us.
Midweek games, they obviously have their place and purpose, but this was the last non-conference game. Now it's all SEC or NCAA from now on. Do you kind of like that?
I like it. I wouldn't mind having one more midweek game, but, I do like the fact that where we sit, and maybe it'll get some of these guys, once they finish up school here next week, really just focused in. It's a different feeling once the guys are done with school. So, yeah, I mean, SEC games, and hopefully have a chance to continue to play, and hopefully we continue to, we got to keep getting better. That's what I tell them every week. We got to get better. We're a good team. We're not special. We got to get better. Okay.